30 minutes to the wedding, the gen couldn't come on.
Problem.
The gen couldn't come on. Frustration started. What did I not do?
Hello, good day, viewers. My name is Adera, and welcome to the 3rd episode, season 2 of Alio Podcast. And with me today, I have the big women of Lagos. In fact, big women of Nigeria.
Whoop, whoop.
If you know you are looking for an event planner to plan your wedding, I brought them. They are the one chopping small weddings and big weddings money. Hey, so we got Man Tolu there and Lady P. Lady P to the world. Hello, welcome to Alio Podcast.
Thank you. Good morning.
You guys really look beautiful.
Thank you.
But the idea of you people chopping, don't deny that you're not chopping event planner money. There's money in it.
Yeah.
In Jesus' name.
Amen.
From your mouth to God, yes.
Yes, so
You're chopping. So today's topic is small wedding / big wedding. Does it really matter? As an event planner, does it really matter?
So I think I should go first.
Yes, Lady P.
So does it really matter? In the grand scheme of things, I don't think so. I think what matters basically is you. The wedding is not the destination. Marriage is. So if you're really fixated on having a big wedding, great, fantastic. I mean, there are pros, there are cons on having a big wedding. Small wedding, you want something very intimate, you, your family, your friends, something very much more closer to you and your husband.
Yeah.
I mean, that's quite all right. So I don't think that it should be a big deal. At the end of the day, it goes down to what do you really want? What can you afford? What can you afford?
So I saw a tweet here.
Yeah.
So the person said, an event planner, she said, "Dear brides and grooms to be, hear me out. Before you set a date and before you finally bring me on board as your wedding planner, you and your partner should have a budget talk. It's not an exciting part of planning, but it's the most important. A budget will give you clarity on everything." So what do you think about that? Have you ever had that experience? A client will just come and meet you with no budget, and when you people have a meeting, you have to say, "Hey, that's not what we budget." You know how wives are and husbands, that's not what we plan. The money is too much. Don't put it there. So what do you think about it? Or have you ever had that?
So one of the first questions I ask when anyone comes for a consultation is, what is your budget? Because it is very, very important. I don't want to go and make an Excel sheet for you and bring you some millions and you're telling me, "Oh, I only plan to spend hundreds." It is very important. It's like the most important part of your wedding planning. If you don't have a budget, you need to sit down, talk about it. What are we willing to spend? What are we willing to spend on this? For some people, they have like parts of the wedding that are more important to them. For some people, it's the ambience. They want the decor to be wow.
Yeah.
Photography might not be that important to them. So talk about it with your spouse. What is important to us? What do you want to spend on this whole wedding? Because don't forget that after the wedding, there's a marital life. There's honeymoon. There's like a lot of other things for you to do. You want to live in a very comfortable apartment and all of that. So you need to talk about budgets. It is very, very, very important. It can never be overstated. It is very important. Budgets.
And also the budget thing, I think it is what now fuels the conversation of whether we should have a big or small wedding. Your budget, I can say, okay, this is going to be a big wedding. Budget is the very first conversation.
I would like to have a big wedding though.
Relatively.
Relatively.
Because some people would have small weddings and they're splurging more than someone that had a big wedding. So it's the budget.
What challenges have you faced during your journey?
This is where we share the grace.
The grace.
So it's been 5 years doing this.
Wow,
so
5 years.
I used to have a 9-to-5 job. I used to work for a media firm. I studied mass communication. So I used to work for a media firm and all of that. And when my boss died, I knew that was the nudge. Okay, you know what? It's time to go in full time. As I was telling you before now, I was saying that event planning is a lot of passion. It's not something that you pick up. I don't like to think it's an inborn skill trait. I don't like to think it's something that you learn. I like to think that it's inborn.
Yes.
You need to be passionate about coordination. coordination, details, paying attention to a lot of things. You just like
Serving
seeing
people.
things there, serving people, meeting people, trying to bring someone's idea to life. For someone like me who's been doing this business for 5 years, one of the things that has driven me is I love love. And I like to see people, I like to bring people's ideas to life. My slogan for my business says, you live the moments, we create the memories.
Wow.
So I like to be in people's moments and also be part of their memories. What will I be remembered for? So I think that event planning is such a very broad industry, events industry, not just planning. It's such a very broad, wide industry where there are lots of opportunities. There are lots of expectations from people. Sometimes I do not like to introduce myself as an event planner. I just like to say I like serving people.
Wow.
So because of the things that we see, there are lots of expectations. I've had a lot of challenges. I don't even know the one I would mention or the one I would forget. But let me start from the most recent. So I had a wedding. The client contacted me late last year before the Christmas break, and her wedding was scheduled for February. We didn't see what is going on in Nigeria coming.
Actually,
we didn't see. Yes, the current Naira currency issues
Currency.
were there as of late last year, but we didn't think it was going to be this serious. A few weeks to her wedding, I was not in Lagos, so she called me and was like, "I'm scared. Lady P, I'm so scared. What if people don't turn up? What if people don't show? What if they don't spray me money?" So people actually have weddings to make money. People get married. I mean, you can afford to just go to the church, go to a vestry, and they bless you both, and you go your way. There are people who they just want to do it for the gram. I want to show them,
people
oh
that
my God, that this man was worth the wait. There are a lot of people who just want to. Every young lady has a wedding of her dreams. We have this fairy tale luxury, want to go all out. But at the end of the day, you need to be realistic. And that's why every time I have an opportunity to give a counsel to couples, I would always say that don't forget that marriage is your destination. I promise you that I would forget that I planned your wedding. I would forget if I see you on the road. I mean, I got here somehow because somebody, saw me and at an event, and I was part of her big day and all of that. I might even forget you got married. But at the end of the day, the challenges that I faced a lot of challenges. The very first recent or the most recent one was budget, matching budget with reality. So the client comes to you and says, "Oh, I have a budget of 5 million naira." And we start the journey. Obviously, my brand is built in such a way that there's nothing like this money is too small. I believe that I'm an event planner because I can make something out of your nothing. Regardless of how much you have, regardless of who you are, let me help you. The passion is, I want to be part of your beat. I want to help you get married. In 2020, I think that's one of the things that brought my brand to limelight was I started doing a 500K wedding package.
500K. And at that time, money was...
So this was, I started this during the COVID. That was one of the things that the Holy Spirit told me to, there are a lot of young couples who have had long engagements. And my industry is such that they are scared. They don't even want to hear event planner. There's somebody in the family that can help us
them.
rent canopy. Can help us. We don't need you. Because when they see you, when they start calculating how much is on your head first and everything you're wearing, they say,
Walk or cut their neck.
Money for. So and all of these things contribute to the challenge. So there are a lot of expectations and pressure. As I was saying of the camera, I was saying that there are people in the family, in the bridesmaid, you took their job.
Yes, so
first, there will be the weapon fashioned against you that will not allow you to prosper in the wedding. So, the clients gave me 5 million budget. I should do this. She was very specific. But what she didn't know she wanted was whether it was going to be a big wedding or a small wedding.
Yeah.
And normal me, I will give you my own advice. You don't have to take it. This is just a short suggestion.
Yeah.
So I was like, I think that we should let's just put it in between. You have 5 million. This is almost 10 million, right? What can we do first? This is what we have to do. What are the things you have ready with your family? Okay, your guy, what job do you do? What are your takeaways from the
Takeaway,
wedding?
yeah.
Would you like to raise money from the wedding? Are you using this money you're using to do this wedding? Is it supposed to be for something else?
something.
What are the plans you already have on ground? So in case people disappoint you on your wedding day, what do you fall back on? Would you feel so hurt about it? So eventually when the wedding came, I'm talking of the most recent in February, this was in the heat, very close to the general elections. And I prayed with her, my faith.
That's
I
very
prayed with her.
sweet.
We joined prayers every night. We're praying seriously about it because she was panicking seriously. Oh, people, there's no naira. Nobody's going to spray me money. What do I do? What did I do? Very simple. Contacted every POS agent I know, the one that live in my shoe, the one that live in my church. Contacted them. I said, guys, you guys will need to turn up for this wedding. We're doing POS. This is going to be and this was the first kind of POS no money like wedding I've ever done. So when we turned up, I not for the first time, but I do not really, my team and I, when we have a decor, blah, 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 because I also have a decor company, right? So I'm not just an event planner. I have a store where I sell wedding gowns, bridal accessories, and then I also have a store where we rent decor materials to people who don't want to give me a job for event planning. So come and rent from me and all that. So when we went there for setup, we spent the night there because it was far away in Lagos, and I know how Lagos is.
Traffic.
So I had planned the entire event. The only thing was I had to meet my clients' expectations. This young lady came to me, poured out her heart to me. This is what she has. This is who her husband is. This is what they have. And I said, you know what? I'm going to give you change from this wedding. Right. I know what is involved. You're giving me this amount of money. I'll give you change and I'll make sure you make your money back. So we showed up on the day of the wedding. The first challenges I faced was the hall manager. The hall manager, those people are in another group chat. The hall managers, you need to, if possible, live with them the night to do. Just come and stay in their house.
So they don't frustrate you.
So that they don't frustrate you, because I was frustrated. I didn't take my bath. I was there all night setting up decor and everything. The bride came in the night with her bridesmaid. Oh, Lady P, help us and hold this wine here. We don't want people to do this. So she brought her own wine away from the ones I had already secured or made arrangements for. She brought her own drinks for some selected few. She wanted me to hold on to some souvenirs. She wanted me to hold on to and all of that. So we're just there. 30 minutes to the wedding. Normally, after setup, we have to test run the lights, the fog machine and everything. And I have to take pictures for my brand. 30 minutes to the wedding, the gen couldn't come on. The gen couldn't come on. Frustration started. What did I not do? The way I was even looking at the hall manager, I thought, the devil will not come to you with red horns and black face.
He will come with one gentle face.
I was like, oh God, is this your face? I was so upset. The man was like, come. I said, calm down. People were seated in the heat. Hey. Now, this one was beyond my control. Number one, I'm not the owner of the hall.
You don't know where you can get.
I don't know. And that's a location that I have never been to. Have I been there prior to that day? Yes, I was there. But I didn't see this coming. I asked. They said, oh, it was good. They turned on the gen. It came on. On the day of the wedding, 30 minutes, the gen couldn't come on. 2 hours, guests were seated.
Jesus.
So, if you're not realistic enough, you might be thinking it is me.
Exactly, the event planner.
Yes. Everything is the event planner. They don't want to know who has
I don't want to know.
The event planner.
So that was my major challenge. This one, really? This particular one is enough to set the entire mood of the day. And I promise you, that event, it was to God be the glory. Because at the end of the day, we stayed for about almost 2 hours. Because I started calling. People came from Ladipo to come and check. At the end of the day, they fixed it. Light came on. I could now see oh my God, okay, my ideas are out. The bride was just like, I was now, like I was managing a lot of people.
Imagine.
I was under stress, pressure. I've not had my bath. So whether I was not even getting what I was thinking of. I was not me. I was not Lady P. Maybe I was PB that day. Because that day, it was crazy. And then, so that was one of my major. So hall managers, vendors, no, this is not a vendor this time around, because the hall manager, I do not like to think you're a vendor. This was a separate arrangement I had. So it was between the client and me. So I came when they had already gone halfway into that conversation. So
I think one of the major skills like an event planner should have is patience, because not be person like me go do patience.
Every day you go taking drugs.
I will fight the person. I don't have patience.
You have to be very patient and be so centered.
I'm telling
you have to know that.
Me, I will fight though. I don't have patience. If you do me anyhow, you spoil market, so person give me for hand. I will show you who I am.
Your brand is at stake. Your brand is at stake. People came from, you don't know who is who.
I'm telling you.
You don't know who is seated in that hall. You don't know where your next client is coming from.
And then the guests will not say that. They will not say that, oh, you were not part of the arrangement from the beginning. They don't even know.
They don't know.
So they're saying, oh, it's the event planner.
It's the event planner.
What sort of rubbish event planner do you people get?
If you leave them, you also think you studied elect. You should also know how to fix a gen. You should also, on this job, I know how to
you have to know a lot of things.
You
must have a diesel in your pocket and spanner.
If Amala don't reach guests for that day, you go now to do Amala that day. Sorry, Tolu, this question is for you. So how do you ensure that people at the guests at the event, apart from the people, the groom and the bride, how do you ensure that the guests at the event have like a memorable experience? Be like, oh, I went to forget the decor, forget everything was really good. Food rich everywhere. Because there's something I saw on Twitter, I don't know if it's on Twitter or on Instagram. I think somebody made a skit as part. A guest went to whisper to the bride and said, my food don't reach my table. I know chop belly full. So how do you make guests, eat well, have enough to go home with, and and also have like a memorable day in their head as part. Oh, this wedding makes sense.
So one of the things I try to do now is make sure that your expectations are realistic. Mm-hmm. You can't give me 3 million and expect that your guests are eating like 4 times, 3 times. Mm-hmm. That's not realistic. I'm not going to kill myself. I'll do my best. Yeah. My staff will do their best to make sure that everyone gets everything available. Mm-hmm. But going above and beyond would be something that I would do if I have enough budget. Mm-hmm. Yes, I'll go above and beyond for you, for the budget you've given me. But for you to now say, oh, I want my people to eat like 3 times. Mm-hmm. If you want your people to eat 3 times, you will pay for 3 times food. I've had a client before. So another thing I learned on my way was I had an event. It was a birthday party. And we had like this camera 360. We had a photo booth as well. Mm-hmm. And so some guests can be, what's the word now? Can be very uptight.
Okay.
Especially if they are very wealthy people. Mm. Getting them to come on a camera 360, I don't need that thing. I don't want to do it. Mm. But the client wanted all our friends to have this experience. The MC kept announcing,
go to camera 360.
Please go on the camera 360. Yeah. Oh, please use the photo booth. We kept announcing back to back. By the end of the day, by the time the videos came out, it was just about 30 people out of 200.
30?
That came on the camera 360. And when I sent the video to the client, she was like, oh, I want a refund. It's just like I wasted money.
Am I your guest?
So at first I was very upset because I just started then. I was like, I don't understand. These people came. They came, right? It's not like the camera 360 people didn't come for the event. They came. It was and I told her, I said, Ma, it was your guests. They were very uptight. I kept going to meet people that please use the camera. And they were all like, oh no, it's fine. I don't want it.
What is there to dance?
And then she was like, if I don't get the refund, I'm going to get you arrested. Okay. That was when I knew that I have beaten more than I can chew. I had to start praying Because at that point, I felt like it was only prayer that could save me.
Actually.
Because this person is very influential. And I know that if she was going to get me arrested, she was going to, who do I know?
We'll just see you on Insta blog. Young event planner.
Who do I know? But I learned one thing from that. I went back to check our chats and I saw that the way I responded was probably what got her upset. So I learned something from that situation, that patience and the way you communicate with people is very, very important. So getting people to have really great experiences, I feel like one of the things is communication and the way you speak to them. There are guests that will come into your events and the hostesses are trying to show them where to sit. And they're like, no. I know where I want to sit. But there's a way the hostesses will speak with them that, oh ma, with a smile. And then before you know it, they sit down and they are even laughing with the hostess that, thank you, my dear, and all of that. So experience starts from your staffing. Your staff need to know how to communicate with people. They need to know how to talk to people. You can't have a coordinator that is like an angry bird.
Yeah, true.
People would upset you. People will say to you things that no one has ever said to you. But you need to be able to keep your feelings in check, keep your emotions in check, and then just relate to people, be respectful. See, it's not easy to be respectful.
I swear.
When a guest comes into a hall and say, who is the foolish event planner that is saying that my table is at the back? And you don't even know this person. And she's telling you that I trained that girl that is the bride. I'm the one. I trained her. And then, ma, I don't know you. Yes, you don't know me, but you should have asked about me. Nobody gave me any information. Yeah. Mommy, I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Don't worry. I'll look for it. So
just
like that, communication helps you give people experiences that they never forget. Yeah. If people forget what they eat at your events, they would never forget how you spoke to them. They would never. If you were rude, even if you fed them well, so, event planner, very rude girl. She doesn't know how to talk at all. But if even people know they are bad. People know they are bad. If they are talking to you in very, very annoying ways and you're just really calm and they know. And then they take that memory with them that, that girl, as rude as I was to her, she was very calm. Yeah. Someone has told me before that you're a very patient person. And I was just laughing. She was like, I saw how my sister spoke to you. And then you were just smiling. I was like, Mommy, oh yeah, let's do it this way. And then I know that memory went out of that place with her. And anytime she needs someone patient to deal with her family members, she'll probably remember me. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, that's very good. I'm learning. Me too. I'm learning. I'm learning how to have patience because I know myself. Gra. You talk to me anyhow. You see anyhow. So yeah, next question, Lady P. So what are some common mistakes you see if the new event planner make, and how do you think that they can avoid them?
Okay, so this is a question that's a bit more personal to me. So when I started out as an event planner, a lot of persons were thinking at that moment I was already making money. I was cashing out and all of that.
But sorry to what? Let's not
lie.
Let's not lie.
But I'm saying that at that time, like I said, at the time I started out, it's not this thing. So at the end of the day, consistency is the result that you get for the hard work you put in. And this is, I just started. I never even do 1 or 2 gig like that. So a lot of persons were already thinking, and that's the thing with humans, especially females, right? There's something about purpose. Purpose is something that is tailor-fit, cut perfectly to suit you. And every one of us here, we have different purposes in life. What I would do excellently is something you would do with so much struggle. I would do it without ease. Why? Because this is what God has called me to do. So at the time I started out, a lot of people around me now moved. I started, everybody I knew is now an event planner. They say, what's your this? I said, you that it was working in the Shalewa shop. You're now an event planner. So what I used to do then is I would try to, coach the people because some of them were coming to me, whether you are stealing my ideas or you're not stealing. I was really, and I think I'm a very honest and open person. I don't think if you come to me, you say, can I give you a secret? I will give you, I'll tell you, and I'll be very honest about it. Why? Because I've realized one thing in life. You can steal my recipe, but the sauce would never be the same. You can, hey, I can give you book of secrets. But if the both of us have to cook the same meal, the same recipe was used, it would not taste the same.
Yeah.
It would not taste the same. So some of the mistakes that I see, it's hurry to blow. Hurry to blow. We need to realize that there's something called timing. There's something called timing. That if you miss it, you might have a lot of issues and struggles with life. You cannot beat the gun. In a race, if you beat a gun, you're disqualified. They don't even remember you ran.
Yes.
No matter how much strength you put in,
People have
because
to
you
see
beat the gun, there are rules, there are processes, and there's something called process. Making process. You cannot afford to jump one step and move to another.
Yeah.
It's just like the journey of life. Each and every one of us here started with nursery. From nursery, we moved to primary. From primary, we moved to secondary. You cannot from nursery move to secondary. If you do that, you are doing yourself. So that's a very serious mistake I see a lot of young people, aspiring people, or event planners make. You are in a hurry to share. You need to realize that this industry is an ever-evolving one.
Yeah.
What you're investing so much in at the moment is something that in the long run will not matter. I've really invested so much in something, and that's something I learned. Somebody asked me, what are the things you've learned in 5 years? This is number one. I was so fixated on something that I realized 2 years down the line, it didn't matter anymore. So that's one of the things. Don't rush the process. Trust it. Trust it. The second one is expectations, self-control. I realize how every eye is on you. The spotlight is on you.
Yeah.
I know it's the bride's big day, but somehow you are the assistant bride.
Yes, so
Somehow, like everybody is looking at whether you're pelege or whether you're
it's the event planner.
They are looking for
Exactly.
you. At that moment, you matter.
Exactly.
At that moment, you are the one, you are the wedding itself. If you don't turn up, if you don't show up, if you don't deliver, hey, forget it.
Yeah.
While some people might not be as drastic, the decisions that your client wanted to take, maybe to arrest you.
Yeah.
Some people might not, but there are people who are speaking for you in rooms that you don't even know exist. I've seen that thing play out several times. I don't even, Ma, you say that's me and you. You say, yes, Ma, thank you so much. And all of that. So we need to, yes, the expectations are there, but you need to, don't put yourself under pressure. Do your best and make sure you do everything humanly possible to make somebody's idea become their reality. Because that's why you were hired.
Yeah.
If somebody can do wedding and plan the thing by themselves, they don't need you. They don't need you. As an event planner, somebody will be asking you, oh, can you do this one? Can you do that? You cannot do everything by yourself. I remember when I was having my engagement and introduction. So because of the crowd and I knew that I was going to pull, and how a lot of persons had waited for this to come to pass. Even the ones that did not know, the ones that are confused about your status and all of that. So eventually, I made this thing very low, very quiet. I said, nothing will go up on social media. They were asking me, are you going to plan it? I said, I will plan it too. Why? Because I was very realistic. The guy in question, I knew how much he was. Yeah, I'm an event planner. But after when you eat my food, you forget me and my guy. So I said, okay, see what's going to happen. Let us do it this way. Let us hush. Let us bring it down. We had a memorable event. That was the small wedding thing I was talking about. So in the journey of destiny, let's always remember that there are traffic lights, there are roadblocks, there are speed bumps ahead. Take it slow at your own pace. You don't know where you're rushing. Where are you rushing to? This is 2023. What you're really putting so much effort in right now, I bet you when a new government comes in, you will not even believe that you wasted such time on it. So my advice to young people, like I said, trust the process. Take it slow. It's an ever-evolving, ever. So
don't compare.
Don't compare. Yes, compare
your journey with another person.
I had an issue with that because I started event planning, not even event planning. I started being in the event industry from school.
Oh, okay.
I was an hostess.
Yay! You were the same.
So I was an hostess, and I was an hostess for like a couple of years. I think about 3-4 years, and then from there, two of the event planners I used to usher for regularly told me, oh, I think you should move up to coordination level now. And they started training me. and I start coordinating, right? So because of how long I've spent in the event industry, when I see some planners that started like 3 years
They
ago
go, you now
and they are
start
doing very
comparing.
well, I'm
Yeah.
upset. Like, what's
How did
happening
they
to
get
me? But
there?
I realized that comparing yourself to, so you don't know the networks of people that these people have.
Yeah, that's also another thing.
Because in event planning, you need network of people.
Mhm.
You need people that
You need people.
are socialites
You need
that would
people.
throw big parties.
Yeah.
You're
So
right.
if there's an event planner that has like socialites in their circle, best believe they will do a lot of events more than you would do. And you don't need to compare, because the more you compare yourself with them, the more sad you get that,
Yeah.
this thing is not. So just trust the process. Don't compare yourself to anybody.
Anybody. I can remember, you're right. When I started podcasting, I used to like, because I have my podcast, so I used to
Okay.
like
Oh,
compare
wow.
myself with other people. Like, they just started. So I'm like, Adira, you just started. Like, you just started 1 year ago. They've started since like 2 years, and I'll feel sad. I'll be like, oh, they have a lot of views, and look at my views. But later, time goes by. Blog started, posting my podcast. To the not posted, and it's good. Like, comparison actually kills joy.
Yeah,
Like,
it
kills.
does.
It's not. So, one question, Tolu. You know how social media now has now become a place where people can, market themselves. Are you like, is that the first like place, the first platform you started getting, get customers, clients, or it was not on social media?
No, mine was referrals.
Referrals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Social media is very finicky. See, social media can make your brand and mar your brand. If you have someone that, for example, that client I talked about, if she had gone on social media to say, oh, this person, she's a terrible planner, believe me, it will trend. And then before you know it, people are saying, oh, is it not that? Because social media does not forget, though.
At all, oh.
Is it not that planner that they said that she
Yeah.
ate? So social media, yes, it's very important. It's good for marketing. It's a really great marketing tool, but you should be more focused on making an impact
Yeah.
on your clients, because from there they can tell someone else about you and all of that. Yes, people get clients from social media. Some people even use some planners on social media because those planners are trending.
Yeah,
Do you understand? So yeah, social media is important, but it's not where I started from. It's not where I got my majority of my clients from. Yeah. I've gotten clients from social media too. Like, I posted a free consultation stuff, and then the lady was in Canada and she wanted me to plan her wedding. And before you know it, she was even joking. Funniest parts, she was supposed to plan the wedding herself. Then her cousin sent her like joking about it, that you will want plan wedding yourself. Use this planner now. And before you know it, she was like, okay, since it's free consultation, let me speak with her. We spoke and then she hired me. So yes, social media can give you clients and all of that, but be very focused on the ones you have. Guard them. Try as much as possible to satisfy their needs and go above and beyond for them. And before you know it, you have clients calling you, oh, this person referred me to you. Oh, and like she said, you might not even remember the person.
Exactly.
But yeah. So
To add to what Tolu said, I totally agree, and I think that we share we share a similar story. But to add to that, I think that you need your brand strategy. You need to decide for yourself what you really want to make of your brand. If you launch your brand, when I launched Pima Concept, a lot of persons did not. Yes, it's an inbuilt something, it's an inbuilt personal trait and all of that. But a lot of so another challenge you would face is getting people to trust you with their money.
Yeah.
I cannot give you money and you don't give me value
Yeah.
for the money that I'll spend. So, but how do you do that? When I got my first gig, it came from somebody that I had punished in school because, on campus then, I was doing politics, I was doing a lot of stuff. So I was quite
woman of
ruthless.
war.
Really a woman of war.
So that's how the gig. So she has followed my personal brand story and how God changed me, So I was really, she could relate. I was just all soft and all that. So when I launched my brand, these were the people who were like, oh, this lady, there were some skill sets she, excuse me, there was some skill sets she possessed then on campus and all of that. So we need to follow through with her. And she was like, okay, let's try you with this church event and all of that. So I realized that This is a brand strategy. I just launched my brand. What do I need to do? Okay, I've gotten a referral from somebody now. The next thing is to make sure this referral gives me the next referral.
Yeah.
I don't know who will give me the next referral, but I know how that next referral can come. Now, the next thing you do is leverage on that small referral. Leverage that small referral you got. So when they gave me, how much did they even pay me? Small money, that is. I went to go and call massage. There's a guy friend that I have who's a photographer. So I massage, you know, pay just because of you. I say, we'll give you food, we'll give you. So I pack plenty meat for him at the wedding. And that's how he took very powerful shots.
Pictures.
That's one event. The way I was even posting it on social media, if you look where you'll be thinking is 100 events I've done in 1 month. I was posting back to back. And I had a clear cut out strategy I wanted. Now that's when this 500k wedding promo came up. I don't even tell you so much about it. I searched everywhere. It's impossible.
Yes, now you want to keep us 500k wedding.
It's impossible. But I did the math. I like money. I did the math. What did I? Okay, and I told you that I'm not an event planner.
Yeah.
That might not really make so much profit. I'm an event planner that has gadgets and I have manpower.
Okay, now.
So I have people. Even if you are not my staff, you must be my brother or my sister in Christ.
That day.
I'll call you, give you tea, I'll give you money, take care of you. And so that was what I was doing. So the 500k brand strategy, I said, with 500k, I can give you the wedding of your dreams.
Yeah.
Inside 500k, I'll give you cake. Inside 500, I give you cake. I give you hall decoration. I give you wedding gown. I was giving you hostesses.
The wedding ushers. Gown. Were you renting them?
I told you I have bridal store now. So I'll give you hostesses and I'll give you food. Food inside though.
You don't go like to have again.
Food is inside. So people, a lot of, and I think I want to say it today because a lot of people were asking me, P, yes, are you sure? I said, forget. When I did the first one, everybody eye clear. It was very simple. I planned it in such a way that if I have multiple people, for example, 5 people give me 500k. And I know inside the 500k, I'm supposed to cook for you. Instead of whatever how much it's going to cost, I'm going to go and buy bags of rice for all of your weddings. Put it down first. And all of those things that would not perish easily. I already have a bridal store where I can go and grab my wedding gown. And I know inside all of the collections that I have, you will see what you like. It might not be so much, but because you're renting, you see what you like. I have a decoration, this. I'm not going to go and rent fabrics from anybody. So I was making my profit. Cake. You say you want 5 steps of cake. Your budget is too small for 5 steps. It's too small. So what I was doing, I would only give you dummy. So the base, I will only give you 1 real cake. But if you want 100 steps, I can give you 100 steps. You know, it's for aesthetics. It's for the gram. Yeah. It's for the who will come there and say, is it
Paco cake?
Is this cake?
But wait, it's not that they will say cake. FC will call
the base.
Okay, the base
is going to be the actual. So it's just 1 cake I'm giving you when you see 6 steps of cake, right? So all of this is a strategy. It's strategy. Many people are living happily ever after, but you don't know how. So don't kill your. Like I said, it's an ever evolving industry.
Don't kill yourself.
Next year, you will see somebody who is doing something. Maybe next we'll soon see bride and groom appearing and disappearing, or we're seeing grand opening up. We're seeing the stage dividing into 2. The next thing, angel will herald the trumpet. I don't even know again. So yeah, I mean, social media.
So what advice will you give young aspiring event planner? I think I will join this business too.
Are you patient?
But I will learn. My first gig, I go to learn. Please, I will still for my own. Event. So what advice would you love to give, young aspiring events planner? Because a lot of people, I've been seeing a lot, even on TikTok, you say, I did this event for my friend, blah, blah. I see it on TikTok very well.
So I think I started off with that question, but I would say again that always remember that you are not purposeless.
Yeah.
And the earlier you discover purpose, the better for you. Until you discover purpose in life, you keep running around in circles. And you also need to understand that there are a lot of people whose destinies are tied to you. Until you launch out, you never know whether you do well or not. Until I give it a shot, I didn't. And the thing about, just like Jola was saying, the thing with comparison, it dumps you in an ocean of pain. Comparison, you're never productive when you're comparing.
Yeah.
You just keep
stagnant.
regretting. You keep telling God why. You're not doing anything.
Keep trying the things others are doing.
Trying the things and it's try and error. You know that game we used to play when we were small. Try and error, blow balloon, whether you mean the balloon or whatever. But it's try and error, right? If you understand, okay, this is why God, and that's what I try to do. I don't care what industry God decides to put me in. If you like, let him put me in the industry where they're doing club. I know I'm with a purpose. I'm loaded. I'm like a bazooka. I'm just waiting to boom. Once it explodes, anyhow we explode. So you need to understand that I've been given a purpose, and it is a mantle.
Yeah.
Your purpose is a mantle attached to your name. My purpose is not to be Lady P up and down. That one is just stage name, brand name. My purpose in life is attached to who God has made me to be. And you need to understand that you need to discover it. You need to discover it. When you now discover it, you stop comparing. And it is with purpose you stop comparing. Yes, those times come. I'll not even lie. After doing this business for 5 years, there are still some people that I compare my journey with. The second thing, after purpose, it leads me to the next one. Mentorship. My advice any day, anytime to anybody, have a mentor. You can have 100 mentors. You have mentor in finance, mentor in church, you have mentor in event planning, you have mentor everywhere. It's okay. And you should also don't be restricted. Don't make it look as though you cannot learn from somebody you're younger than.
Yeah.
I have people who I'm older than them, but they inspire me. I'll go on. I can spend 30 minutes on somebody's page and I'm learning a lot. Okay, I should do it like this. Okay, the next one, I'll just take a screenshot, write it down.
Yeah.
I'll reach out to the person. There are people I've reached out to. There are people at FBO, wherever you are, Zafire's event. That's one
Zafire's
event! FBO.
Okay, yes, she is.
Zafire's event and everything she does. I've
so
energetic.
I've
followed through her journey for years. Whether me and her have seen face to face or we have not seen face to face, she's really somebody. And I've told her before. We started chatting via Instagram DM. Before you know, she's like, "Precious, I'm going to call you now. Give me your number."
She called you.
She called me.
Wow.
That day, whether I'm trembling at the feet of the master, I don't know. But I was rolling. I was crying. I said, "Ma," she was like, "I'm going to call you back." We started chatting on WhatsApp and all of that. So there are people who, and you also need to know how to access these mentors. You cannot go and say, "Hey, tell them all your family problem." Even you say you're not even serious with the thing you want to do. You are aspiring event planner. What have you done? They have to meet you halfway.
Yeah.
Nobody will do anything free of charge for you. Nobody will do 100% for you. Meet them halfway. That's the only way you can succeed. Even God. I'm not saying you should help God. Even God would also love to see the effort how desperate are you? How hungry are you for this thing that you prepare, pray, and plan, execute.
PPP, Lady P. So Tolu, what do you have? Let's end it just short.
Okay, so she has said most of it. Yeah. But one of the other things I would say, always trust God and trust the process.
Yeah.
Hey! See, it might be very difficult. I'm still going through my process and it might be very difficult. Yeah. It might be something that you wake up at times and you're like, what am I even doing here? Like, should I just try something? Yeah. The other time, like, I even told myself that it's like I want to enter tech, which I think I will still enter.
There's money there though.
Yeah. You need it, it's okay.
Yes,
which I think I will still enter. But
streams of income.
Another thing that drives me is my passion for what I do. I know that we have so many event planners.
Yeah, a lot.
But I know that what I do, I'm the only one that can do it. That is a given for me. I know, everybody doing one thing or the other. But everyone has a unique aspect to themselves. And I know that if I pull out what I have to offer, no one is going to get it anymore. So,
that's true.
Yeah. Trust God, trust the process. When it's difficult, pray every time. When it's difficult, pray. When it's going good, pray. When it feels like I'm not making profit, pray. the Holy Spirit is always there to help you.
Yeah, so
Very,
yeah, to
very, very
guide,
important.
yeah.
So trust God, trust the process, and trust that you are able to carry out all the things you want to carry out. Because
Yeah.
there are times that you have the imposter syndrome, like, who am I to be good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who am I to be a very
Yeah.
good event planner?
Yeah.
So yes,
Self-doubt.
things like that come up, but just trust God. Trust that you are created in the image of God.
God.
And if God could create heaven and earth, who am I not to be a creator? Who am I not
Hallelujah.
to do good
Come on
things?
now.
Hallelujah.
Preaching good, baby.
So yes, so to add to what Lady P has said, just trust God,
Trust
trust the
God.
process, and trust yourself.
So yeah, we've come to the end of this
Hey.
episode. I learned a lot. I will not lie.
Me
I learned a lot too
because
from
I
Lady
did too. I
P.
did too. I learned a lot from you.
I learned a lot from both of you because I will enter
Even
this
we
event.
learned a lot from you. We'll so put our own podcast there and bring you.
So yeah, I actually learned a lot. Thank you so much. So please, guys, event planners are human beings too. Please don't
Yes,
say
so-
when they come to your
We
event,
are.
they guess. Please don't be saying words like things like what Libby you said something.
Pelegbe.
Well, where's the foolish event planner? And I put my
Exactly.
table at the back.
Exactly. Things like, oh, where's your own husband? Blah blah. It's the person that are you
Are
married?
you married? Do you know what it takes to be an event planner?
Please.
They are human beings too,
They are
guys.
human beings. Don't say hurtful words like that.
That
You
one
know,
for changing
they are
face.
there to make the bride and groom happy, especially you, the guest, happy. So thank you
Yeah.
so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Narrative. Click this like button here. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms. Follow Lady P. Instagram handle is here.
At the Lady P.
Tolu's
Follow
Instagram
me, follow
handle is
me.
here. Do not forget to follow.
And
And
give us your money.
stay tuned for another episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.